Hello there, this is Red Joy, and today we are going to do our first video for a Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines run. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, a fantastic RPG in general in the world of darkness. We're basically going to be put into modern day LA. Well, LA at the time of this game, which I think was 2004. I think it was 2004. Could be wrong. I did one playthrough earlier, but I didn't have any commentary on it, so take that as it is. I want to take a few minutes now just to go through each of the clans and then kind of think about which clan I want to be. Gender, there are going to be differences in the storyline as far as like quests and whatnot go, whether you are male or female. But let's go ahead and go through the clans. There are 8 of them. This kind of acts as your class, right? I have one in mind that I'm going to do because I've done it before, but I've never had the opportunity to actually like record when I've done it before. But I will go through all of them right now. So, Brujah. Brujah are passionate idealists and rebels, more likely to fight than fight for their rights, than write protest songs. In life, most Brujah sought social change, and in undeath, most clan members commonly seek the creation of a vampire utopia. So basically, they're fighters, they're freedom fighters, they're militant militia. They're the people who they don't just go into the streets and push for change. They are the people who are going in the streets and beating the bejesus out of the authority in order to fight for what they feel is right. These are the fighters. They are they are combat characters, right? By the way, for this playthrough, I am not going to do any histories because I think they are really cool histories, right? Like you can play as homosexual, you can play as any of these interesting bits, but they do change the way you'll play the game. They add certain stats and they have certain weaknesses. So this comes from the unofficial patch, I believe. So it is kind of cool that you can modify your character this way, but for this playthrough, I'm gonna avoid that just to keep it simple. So Brujah, as far as their strengths go, they receive +1 in their unarmed feat, but are penalized with a -2 to all frenzy checks due to their zealous nature. So they are more likely to go into a frenzy when they are fighting than if they than other clans are. They're going to prioritize combat skills. They're going to prioritize things that are they'll prioritize combat skills. They'll prioritize the combat talents. And their 3 disciplines are going to be celerity, which is like super speed, potence, which is increasing your strength, and presence, which is kind of a kind of debuff for the other vampires around or other enemies around. Okay, so the cool thing, by the way, is that these are all the way that these clans are all laid out is they're opposites of each other, right? So the opposite of the Brujah are going to be the Ventrue, right? So Ventrue are truly the upper echelons of society. The Ventrue are seen as the honorable and virtuous leaders of the Camarilla. They wholeheartedly support the Masquerade, influencing the mortal and undead worlds to help them maintain the Masquerade, as well as garner support from themselves. Clan Ventrue is an exclusive and powerful gathering of immortals, and even the lowest initiate of Clan Ventrue can expect special treatment in kindred society. This regal bloodline, however, gains no nourishment from low-born and thin-blooded humans. The Clan Ventrue gain no blood from feeding on animals, and feeding on low-life humans, prostitutes, and the homeless can cause Ventrue to vomit. So they have to be rather selective on who they drain from, right? If I were to say the Ventrue were a particular class, let's see, they have, for example, they prioritize social skills, mental abilities. They do have, they prioritize their knowledge over any combat skills or any other abilities. And their disciplines are Dominate, Fortitude, and Presence. Dominate is obviously like a form of mind control. Fortitude increases their toughness, so it makes them, gives them a defensive buff. And then Presence is just like with the Brujah, it kind of is it shows how scary you are, right? It determines how it weakens your enemies. I actually think that the Ventrue are kind of like they're kind of like bards in a way, right? Where they're the social characters. They are the face of any group. Okay, so that's Ventrue. Next, I'm gonna say Gangrel. Gangrel, let's see, they are wild loners that are most in tune with the beast within, allowing them to shapeshift into more beastly forms. Nomadic in nature, Gangrel care little for vampire politics and prefer to dwell and hunt in the outskirts of society. Because of their animalistic nature, they receive a +5 to strength, stamina, and wits during frenzy. However, because of their inherent feral nature, Gangrel receive a -1 on all frenzy checks. So, something very interesting, right, is a Brujah get a -2 to all frenzy checks. Gangrel get a -1 on all frenzy checks, which is really interesting. And they get a huge boost in strength, stamina, and wits in frenzy. They're going to obviously favor more physical and mental abilities. They have more skills, which show that they can kind of integrate and use the skills in order to survive in combat, right? Versus talents, which are just kind of like, innate, I guess, pieces. And then they prioritize them over knowledge. They do not prioritize social skills. So this is not going to be a character who would talk that much if you were going to go with Brujah. Their disciplines: animalism, which is calling the animals to they have different animal abilities like summoning ravens, beetles, spectral wolves, ghostly bats, and insect swarms. Fortitude increases their toughness. Protean gives them different shape-shifting abilities. It's not quite the same as werewolves. They're like mini werewolves, but they are kind of scary. Like Warform is basically very, very, very scary form. You basically are going to be doing a lot of damage that way. Obviously, Gangrel, you can see kind of from here, it's like mostly a druid, but it's also a little hint of like barbarian in there too, where they are expected to go frenzy when they're in combat, right? If you were to say the opposite of Gangrel, it would probably be Tremere. Now, Tremere is what I did last time. Tremere are basically blood mages. Let's see, the blood sorcerers born from a mystic ritual and diablerie. The Tremere are the least trusted of the Camarilla clans. What I believe ended up happening was that many years ago, centuries ago, a bunch of human mages did some ritual and ended up becoming vampires through blood magic. The pursuit of arcane knowledge comes before all else, and reliance upon it has weakened the bloodline. Tremere can raise no physical attribute above 4 points. So that's a big penalty. However, the physical attributes are going to be a little bit lower than others, but in return, they get, first off, Dominate, select that mind control, same thing as Ventrue. Auspex, which allows them to sense auras and allows them to kind of see more around them. And Thaumaturgy. Thaumaturgy is unique to Tremere, and that is their blood magic, right? And it lets them strike with blood. It lets them do a blood purge, making people vomit. They can activate a blood shield. They can steal blood, drain from a victim, and then they can cause people to blow up. Very, very nasty stuff. So I like Tremere. I think they're very interesting. But then again, I'm a sucker for magic. So, all right. Next, I'm actually... Okay, so it's a little bit weird because I said that they kind of bounced off each other, right? So Nosferatu basically are the hideous creatures underneath the sewers, right? If you ever see the movie Nosferatu, that's pretty much what they look like, right? This is very much what they look like. Hideous, skulking, and powerful. Even in the world of monsters, the Nosferatu stand out. They embrace twists and deforms their physical features, forcing them to seek sanctuary underground. Nosferatus are the masters of the shadow. Due to their curse, they have a seduction of zero and can never raise it higher. And they hide their existence from common humans. Having shared the darkness with the vermin for so long, vampires of Clan Nosferatu are able to gain extra nourishment from rats. Nosferatu are going to be having high mental stats, decent physical stats. Kind of like Gangrel, they're going to have advantages in skills and knowledge, less than talents though. They gain the animalism, so pretty similar to Gangrel that way. Potence, which actually increases their strength, so that's a little bit like Brujah. They can increase their strength. And then they can go invisible. Basically, they can go so that nobody can see them, which is perfect, right? Level 1 is hide. As long as you remain still, then you're not going to be detected, right? Limited invisibility, hidden killer, advanced invisibility, and unseen force. So basically, you can make yourself invisible, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I think that Nosferatu. I have never played as a Nosferatu. I have been too chicken to do so. I think that it is. I have heard from people who have played Nosferatu that they are a lot of fun to play because you play the game in a completely different way. Because you're not talking to the same people as you would do if you had a normal everyday face. Instead, you'd be talking to people of different, you'd be talking to people in the sewers or other means. So, their opposite is the Toreador. Right, Toreador picture themselves as artists and visionaries, and they value the high society mentality of the Camarilla and forces. Of all the clans, the Toreador are the most connected to the mortal world through arts and entertainment. Okay, so I take back what I said about Ventrue. Ventrue, I guess, would be the equivalent of like paladins, maybe, because they have to kind of be the natural leaders of the group. But Toreador, or maybe it's the other way around, because Toreador, the thing about Toreador is that they have a few more physical strengths than Ventrue do. Ventrue are much more talk their way out of issues, whereas a Toreador can fight their way out of stuff, right? They get Auspex, which allows them to kind of see auras, Celerity, which is vampire super speed, and Presence, which is striking fear into people around them. They don't get the same physical stats, that's true, but they do get talents, which includes brawling, dodging, and then they do, so they, of course, also get social. So it's kind of a toss-out as to which one is which, right? Whether Toreador or Ventrue are more like bards or paladins. It's kind of hard to tell, right? But clearly, Toreador, their purpose is we are naturally connected to the mortal world, and we're connected to the everyday person within the mortal world, and especially through the arts and entertainment, whereas the Ventrue are more connected to like the top echelons of society. Finally, there is Malkavian. Malkavians are known as lunatics because of their ability to hear voices of insight and subject others to their insanity through their discipline, dimension. The world appears much different to the Malkavian than it does to the sane clans. Through the extent of a Malkavian's madness, it depends on the individual. A blessing and a curse, the Malkavian's insanity will help or hinder them, depending on how much they struggle against their nature. They start with a +2 bonus to inspection. That's really cool. However, every piece of dialogue from a Malkavian is weird. You have to basically sift through what they're actually saying, right? Because, and it's actually very cool. I, again, haven't played as a Malkavian in depth, but I gave it a try once. It is very interesting. So, there's Dimension, which is their unique bit. Veil of Madness causes a victim to be temporarily incapacitated through laughter. Mass Hallucination, where they are your enemy is being suffering from mild hallucinations and can't quite see very well. A Vision of Death. Victim is shown its greatest waking nightmares, eventually causing a heart attack. Ooh. Berserk Insanity. The victim goes insane, attacks at random for about 30 seconds and drops dead. May have lesser effect on supernaturals. And then finally, Voice of Bedlam. The target and any others near him all randomly suffer one of the first 4 levels of Dimension. Very interesting. They can also go invisible, and they can also see stuff around them. This is not a class that you use for physical abilities. This is a class where you keep your distance, and you use a lot of the knowledges and investigation. So one thing that is very interesting about Malkavians is that they're not stupid. They see the world very, very differently. So I am a little bit torn. I had actually an idea of what I wanted to do. I think I might stick with my idea. I'm going to be a pansy. I'm going to go with Toreador. This, by the way, is a female. This is what the male looks like. I have not done as a female, so I think I'm going to do a female Toreador. I think we'll see what it looks like and how the game goes. By the way, I didn't read Toreador's empathy is both a gift and a burden. All humanity shifts are doubled. Humanity up here, basically, it's going to be explained in the introduction, but humanity is basically the connection that the character has to the human world, right? Think, for example, even if you're talking about a Nosferatu, right? A Nosferatu is still trying to connect with the technology and society, just they're understandably can't be seen by humanity and society, right? Toreadors are going to be really infected if they go down in humanity, right? The closer you go, in fact, I think if you lose all of your humanity, you become a monster, you become a beast. The further along you go in humanity, the more likely you are to frenzy, right? Whereas if you have a high humanity, you're most likely not going to frenzy. Okay, so let's go ahead and allocate our stats here. Physical, we're not allocating any of those, but we will have to figure out what we're going to do as far as our defenses go. Let's see. I think we'll do 1 point in each of those. Skills. Having a high security is really nice because we want to be able to lockpick as much as possible. Charisma. We're talking ourselves a lot out of. We're going to talk a lot out of out of any situation. Let's see here. Research, intimidate, perception, wits. I think wits is going to be good. And then knowledge is hacking, haggle, inspection, research, and persuasion. That one, and then let's see. Let's do, yeah. So hacking is nice. Lockpicking is kind of crud, but that's okay. It doesn't need to be great. All right, now disciplines. I really like celerity. Celerity is a really cool skill. Let's see. All but the first level of celerity are obvious supernatural acts. Using them in safe areas is considered a violation of the Masquerade. So, one thing to note is abilities, these different disciplines can potentially violate something called the Masquerade. The Masquerade is determined up here, right? The Masquerade is supposed to be something that characters are supposed to, they're supposed to uphold the Masquerade in order to make sure that vampires are not seen. It's going to be explained a little bit in the introduction, but basically you don't want to lose Masquerade points, and if you have any opportunities to redeem the Masquerade points, that's always a good point too. So, Now, celerity level 5 is very powerful. But so is Auspex. Kind of like the idea of Auspex. We're going to increase Auspex. And we're going to rename our character. We went Zeke last time. It's good. Good female name. We'll go with Elle. Why not, right? All right. So, for our stats, defense is pretty good. I like that. And we can increase our wits with Auspex, so our defense is going to be potentially higher. Unarmed combat is okay. Melee and range combat, we're not using weapons anytime soon. Lockpicking is, I mean, all of our stats are kind of garbage. But lockpicking and research are a little higher, and hacking is okay. We are not sneaky, and we don't have good inspection skills. As far as public skills, we are decent at persuasion and seduction. Not good at intimidation. That's okay because we're not going to intimidate. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and die.
I want to show you something.
Italian Stallion. Always put a helmet on the soldier, boys, even if you're dead. Uh-oh. Oh, we got staked. That's it. Good game, everybody.
Good evening.
My fellow kindred, my apologies for disrupting any business or interfering with prior engagements you may have had this evening. It's unfortunate that the affair that gathers us together tonight is a troubling one. We are here because the laws that bind our society, the laws that are the fabric of our existence, have been broken.
No.
As prince, I am within my rights to grant or deny the kindred of this city the privilege of siring. Many of you have come to me seeking permission, and I have endorsed some of these requests. However, the accused that sits before you tonight was not refused permission. Indeed, my permission was never sought at all. They were caught shortly after the embrace of this child. It pains me to announce the sentence, as, up to tonight, I considered the accused a loyal and upstanding member of our organization. But as some of you may know, the penalty for this transgression is death. Know that I am no more adjudicator than I am a servant to the law that governs us all. Let tonight's proceedings serve as a reminder to our community that we must adhere to the code that binds our society, lest we endanger all of our blood.
Love that man's suit.
Forgive me. Let the penalty commence.
Wop wop.
Which leads to the fate of the ill-begotten progeny. Without a sire, most childer are doomed to walk the earth never knowing their place, their responsibility, and most importantly, the laws they must obey. Therefore, I have decided that...
This is bullshit!
Ooh, boy!
All I'm saying is that he better not do it.
If Mr. Rodriguez would let me finish. I have decided to let this kindred live. They shall be instructed in the ways of our kind and be granted the same rights. Let no one say I am unsympathetic to the plights and causes of this community. I thank you all for attending these proceedings, and I hope their significance is not lost. Good evening.
Law and order. All these characters, it's so fascinating knowing all of these characters and like seeing how, okay, well, I know that that character's coming up. I know where that character is. I love this game.
Your sire, tragic, my apologies. But you see, there is a strict code of conduct that all of us must adhere to if we wish to survive. When anyone breaks these laws, they undermine the well-worn fabric of our centuries-old society. Understand my predicament. Allowing you to live makes me directly responsible for your subsequent behavior.
What's up with her posture? Straighten your
I'm
back,
offering
sweetie.
Generosity,
Come on.
but the opportunity to transcend the fate woven by your sire. This is your trial. You will be brought to Santa Monica. There, you will meet an agent by the name of Mercurio. He will provide the details of your labor. I've shown you great clemency. Prove it was more than a wasted gesture, fledgling. Don't come back until you do. Good evening.
Good evening to you, suit. All right. Well, vampires hide from themselves as well. All right. So, typical WASD. All right. All right. So this is our character. So we're gonna step out here.
What a scene, man! Woo-wee! Then they just plop you out here like a naked baby in the woods. How about that? Look, it's probably a lot for you to take in, so why don't you let me show you the ropes? What do you say?
Yeah, we're gonna take this opportunity. By the way, yes, that is Bender, and he makes an excellent point, right? Like, I thought the whole reason why they kill fledglings is because they end up being lawless. So let's go ahead and.
I'm Jack. What's important is I'm offering help. You make it back from Santa Monica with your hide and we'll trade life stories, okay? Till then, I got about this much time. You in or out?
Is that like 15 minutes? Like 15 minutes? Okay, yeah. What happened in there?
Don't worry, kiddo. You'll adjust. I'd love to explain it all, but time's a wasting. You want some help or what?
Yes, I could use the help.
All right. Why don't we, step out back here?
Yeah, let's get away from that horrible place. I'm not going to read every bit of dialogue, but I'm going to tell you what I typically will say with this character.
Not much time, but I figure somebody should fill you in on the bare bones stuff at least. You know, could save your hide. You look wobbly. You even had a drink yet?
I mean, I had had an espresso martini.
Oh man, we're popping a cherry here. Ah, you're gonna love this. All right, check it out. Blood, it's your new rack of lamb, your new champagne, blood, your new fucking heroin, kid. Get ready.
Oh my
though,
god,
'cause, hey,
heroin, gross.
It's never as sweet as the first.
What am I, from Seattle? Alright, what do I do?
Well, down around the corner there, I saw this human. Poor SOB can't find his car.
Well, it is LA, so... Look
All
on.
right. You go down there, casual like. You creep up on him, then bare those little fangs and feed. Don't worry if you weren't captain of the wrestling team or something, because it'll come so naturally you think you've done it 1,000 times already.
Okay, so is he gonna become a vampire then?
Forget that comic book crap, kid. It don't work that way. Now go for it. Be sure, though, and this is important, so listen up. Be sure not to drain him dry, okay? It might be hard to resist, but don't kill him.
Alright. This is, by the way, one of the things I love about the World of Darkness and the idea that your character, when vampires drain from people, they are they're not expected to kill. They're expected to drain and to leave their victim in kind of exhausted stupor, right? Because they lost so much blood. So approach them all casual, like, that is a nice suit, sir. That doesn't have to be your card, does it? Read. Alright. Make sure we don't drain him. Should have enough to go all the way up. There we go. And he's out. Ooh. Janky, janky, janky. Here we go.
Hell yeah, you're feeling it. I can see it in your eyes. You're a born-again predator. Feeling that blood bubbling inside you, lifting you up. That's it, kid. That's what it's all about right there.
Alright. When do I pick the cape?
Alright, now, you got the blood, you're feeling all kick-ass, feeling better than your best day living, but wait, it gets better. All kindred, that's our word for vampire. All kindred have a few things in common. Things that set them right square above humans on the food chain.
Like what?
Like sharper senses, a body that can take a beating, and if you play your cards right, eternal life. That's no sure bet, but still, a chance at immortality's not a bad deal. And that's just for starters. Fringe benefits for joining the club.
So, yeah, it's very interesting. I had the feeling that vampires or kindred, they don't age like normal people do. So unless they are killed externally,
Well, you can still be destroyed,
yeah.
but forget the books and the movies. Garlic, it's worthless. A cross, shove it right up their ass. A steak, only if it catches you in the heart, and then it just paralyzes you. Running water, that's no problem. I bathe. Occasionally. Now, a shotgun blast to the head, oh, that's trouble, boy. Fire, that's real trouble. Sunlight, well, you catch a sunrise and it's all over, kiddo. Get it?
So all of the things that could destroy you and kill you
Okay, now.
are all external and things that you could hypothetically avoid. So I like the whole kindred element to it. It's your natural inclination is to just survive and not get yourself into trouble. Of course, this wouldn't be much of a game if we didn't get ourselves into some trouble. Alright, let's go ahead and hop inside. Alright, use the jump key. Now, what I'm about to show you is I'm about to show you the real reason why you always do the tutorial in this game. Not because boxes are hard. Boxes are very hard. But platforming. Because you pick up the lockpick for free.
Come down here. Stay away from the windows. Oh, it's a Sabbat raid. Sabbat? They're, Christ, I was hoping to spare you this shit till later. Sabbat, well, they're mostly mindless, bloodthirsty assholes. That's all you need to know for now, alright?
So what's up?
The Sabbat got wind of the gathering here, so they figured they'd raise a little hell, put a little heat on the new prince.
What's the prince of?
No time for political rundown. Job one, get out of here alive. Sabbat might be mindless, but they hit like a Mack truck, like raging savages. Nothing a fledgling like you wants to mess with.
So what am I supposed to do?
Heads up. Back away.
So we'll learn throughout the game a lot more about the Sabbat and the Camarilla and the group that Jack is in and other various groups. Ah. So this dude is a Gangrel. Summoning animals. He's got that big ass sword too.
Dumb, frenzied Sabbat bastards. Alright, we gotta vamoose out the back quick. I'll stay and keep a watch out. You get us into the office. The door's around the corner here.
I'm on it. Alright, so by the way, the unofficial pack, I think my camera might be blocking it, and I apologize about that. In fact, you know what? Let me pause real quick and adjust my camera real quick, make sure that it's not blocking my abilities. Alright, I think that's a lot better. So if you notice in the lower right hand corner, you'll see that there's abilities I'm kind of zipping around, right? There are different abilities that your character has. And there's a couple of things that are inherent, and there's a couple of things that the unofficial patch adds in. The unofficial patch was it's technically a mod, and I know some people are sick of me playing with mods when I play with these games, but this makes the game playable, because when it came out, there were so many bugs with it that they really had to, the developers had to work hard to make it work. What the unofficial patch does is it unlocks a ton of great content that was behind certain elements of the programming. So, for example, blood buff basically increases your all of your physical stats, particularly your strength and your dexterity. It's very useful in combat and also out of combat if we needed to unlock certain things. This door here that we're about to unlock, we don't need to worry about because I think it's difficulty 1. Of course, we have this piece here. By the way, there's also blood heal. If we got injured, we could do that. And then we have our normal abilities. Open up. All right. Oh, come on. In the door we go. There we go.
Shortcut. Well, nicely done, though. Not exactly an angel in life, were you?
I had my moments.
Cool. Now, if you want a lesson on how really not to act, take notes from those Sabbat assholes. You're a big bad vampire. Yeah, great, congrats. Now keep it to yourself. You go roar and you beat your chest, and that's what you can expect.
Wait, I got a list from
It's the
people from
same
high school.
reason you don't let humans see you feeding. It's why the wolf doesn't want the sheep to know he's there. It's also why you don't go juggling dumpsters or outrun the 815 from Sacramento. And it's why you didn't know any of this when you woke up this morning. Keep our secret secret and you make things easier on all of us. We're living in the age of cell phone cameras. Fuck-ups ain't tolerated. Makes sense enough, right? Well, it ain't a casual thing for a fledgling like you. That party back there with the guy in the suit and the Magilla Gorilla? The assholes that put your sire to death? That's the Camarilla. They make a tidy business out of enforcing vampire laws like this one.
I see.
Alright, now don't worry, because I know the area a little. You know what?
They killed my date.
Situation, you and I. It illustrates a point. You gotta utilize your surroundings.
Okay, but what does that mean
Do
exactly?
what you gotta do. Theft, destruction of property, breaking and entering. These will be the least of your sins before the night's out. So look around here. We gotta get out the back there through that magnetically sealed door. There must be a key someplace.
It's pretty high-end stuff for a crap chop shop like this, but you know what? So be it.
You giving up? Look around a little. Come on.
Okay, password is chop shop. Okay, so we can, if we press save, you have to type in everything there. We can use Control-C to uncover what it is. I'm going to try that. See, yeah. If it's all lowercase or if it's all appearing to be words, then you're going to succeed. So we're going to unlock, and there we go. Welcome, Jack. Interesting. Interesting.
There we go. Now take that keycard and head out the back. I'll meet you out in the alley there. I'm gonna check out things from topside.
I never even noticed that his name was in the system already. Very interesting. Alright, regardless. Okay, so we go out the back. So, dude just took a submachine gun and it was like, laid me out for like 20 seconds. Alright, so, blue bar is health. If we end up taking damage, certain hazards, aggravated damage, which takes longer to heal. So we will heal over time.
Fucking waste of unlife, these Sabat Vatos. You get winged? Hey, look at them potholes. Those will close up soon enough. Better feed, though. There's someone down the stairs here. It's not the freshest catch, but he'll do.
Alright.
Now, when it comes to feeding, it's quality blood you're looking for, not the quantity. Bums and lowlife don't pack the same punch that a healthy, well-bred human will. Juice bags with a pedigree. That's the good stuff. But you gotta take what you can get. You ever had a PhD, kid? Ooh, that's good stuff.
No, we literally just drank our first person like 10 minutes ago.
Remember what I said, though. Don't kill them. At least not the innocent ones. You're a monster now. Make no mistake. One of the damned and the fallen. You need to hold on to every last shred of humanity you have.
Okay, let's say I get a little overzealous.
An
What
innocent's
happens?
an innocent. You kill one, even a worthless bum, even by accident, and it's gonna cost you a piece of your own humanity. Bring you closer to that beast you got welling up inside you. The beast, it's always there, waiting to take over. When it does, it's like a wild animal wearing your skin. Desperate, scared, reckless. He'll do anything to survive, and it's you that has to deal with the consequences.
Ooh, spicy. So I can't kill anyone?
I said innocent humans. If some asshole levels a 12 gauge your way, you drain him, skin him, and bash in his skull. Self-preservation is a vital part of humanity, after all. My favorite part, in fact. The only way to fight the beast is to keep in touch with your humanity, and don't go hungry. It's a fine line.
Got it.
All right, now go feed. Careful, though. He's gonna drain fast.
Be back in a minute. Alright, and as you see, we are already, like, almost healed up. So we don't need to take much from this guy. Yeah, we'll leave him be. There you go.
Not quite as good, huh? You can do worse. There's some rats down the way. You think I'm kidding? You can survive feeding on animals if you can stomach that kind of thing.
Still got some threads in my teeth.
Give it a try.
I'll think about it. We're not going to do it right this second. Killing rats. Rats only give one blood point, but they are useful in a pinch. Like if you need to heal a little bit, if you need to try to get through to survive, if you need blood and you're in the sewers, rats are really, really, really useful.
Just couldn't bear it, huh? It's okay. Polite kindred society looks down on that kind of thing anyway.
I can see why. I'm not down with the road myself.
Got someone around the way here.
Just one guy?
Too much of a threat by himself, but you never know if there's more in shouting range. You're gonna have to sneak past.
And I only have 1 point in sneak. This will be interesting.
Building across from us with the garage door. There's some double doors on the far side. I'll meet you inside. Just stay low and stick to the shadows. And don't let him see you.
We'll do my best.
Alright, go.
Alright, so we're going to crouch. Now, I've heard people not really like... They don't really like the stealth system in this game. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I mean, like, it gives a bit of excitement, right? Alright. And sneak around. Here we go.
Keep it quiet. They're inside here. Seems that shovelhead outside just got separated from his pack. He's wounded too. Go take care of him. Don't worry. He's probably greener than you.
Greener than me? What makes you think that?
Savant, you see, they don't have the most rigorous training program. In fact, that poor sod is lucky if he knows he's a vampire.
Crap.
He's probably just turned and beaten over the head. They like to do that, make shock troops, cannon fodder, put him out of his misery.
So basically,
Vampire, so be ready.
it's like, congratulations, you're dead.
Go get him.
Alright. Alright, let's boogie. Alright, so. Woo! There we go. Alright, so. Icon with weapon. You can equip it using the F1, F2, and F3. F3 is armor, F2 are range weapons, and F1 is melee weapons. So, alright.
That's that. Sounds like you got another pack moving in, though. The Savant are going all out. You better head underground, avoid straight bullets.
Sounds like a
All
good
right,
strategy.
get down into the basement through the grate in there. Keep that tire iron handy. I'll be there in a minute.
See ya. Alright. Let's go on inside. Alright. Slide down here. Alright, see, like, this is a new introduction, this guy here. Okay, so it talks about dealing with different dialogue situations. Gonna try to get this guy out of the line of fire.
Stop! You! Just stay back. Keep your distance.
Okay.
Now who the hell are you? You involved in all this? Because I'm gonna radio this in and SWAT will be all over this place.
No. If SWAT comes, they'll drive the gunman drive the gunman down here. Do you want that?
No. Well, I left my radio in the Caprice anyway.
Look, I'm just trying to escape. Is there another way out?
Yeah, okay. Alright, this way. This will lead us up to the warehouse. We can maybe sneak out that way.
You better stay here. It's too dangerous for you. Okay. So, if he manages to go ahead, then he can get himself killed. So, we're going to try to stealth kill this guy. Keep in mind, my stealth is pretty bad. There we go.
Not sure what's going on. Sounds like the Sabbat's getting scattered. I'm gonna keep an ear to the ground. Be careful going forward here. Could be a whole mess of them holed up.
The more the merrier. Alright. So, let's go ahead and... Alright, so this talks about the different abilities. Let's try to unlock it without using blood buff. Okay, so it's below difficulty. Now we use blood buff. Increases all of our physical stats. And so there we go. Alright, so we have 3 Auspex. Let's us see it. Auspex is not a Masquerade violation. Basically, it literally is just like, your eyeballs are going to see stuff, and nobody else can tell what you're seeing. So, equip, move forward and kill him. Alright, so you can see his aura is through there. Ow! The nice part is that you get a bonus to wits, which increases your defenses.
I think they're clearing out. There's no need to go stirring up the hornet's nest till we know the score, though. Head through here. Come to an elevator around the way.
You seem to know a lot about this place,
Don't
Jack.
let them catch you.
No problemo. Alright, let's see. What power does it want us? It's passive discipline. Okay, so we're going to use presence. Get on up. Alright. Alright. Ow. Woo! And it drains pretty quickly. Alright, so we need to sneak through this area. We can pick up stuff and throw it. That's right. Go towards the object.
Fucking humans. Gangbangers protecting their turf. Oh, man. I'm here thinking it's Sabbat moving up in here. It's the fucking locals about to take one for the hood.
That's right. This is not for kids. So what do we do?
They probably seen too much. Here, take this 38. Fucking pea shooter, but a few shots in it will take down a human.
Alright, thanks.
Well, I'm gonna want it back, so don't go die and lose it. I don't use guns much. They're noisy, they're clumsy, practically useless against vampires, but still, a kindred's gotta keep up with the times. And in modern-day Los Angeles, that means coming strapped.
Useless against vampires?
Well, yeah, some are more lethal than others, of course. Watch out for those shotguns. Ouch, those things can smart, I tell you.
I hear you.
Head up and clear out what's left of them. Can't have them running their mouths about any of this. I'm gonna make sure there's no stragglers around outside.
Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and equip the gun. You do not have to use the firearm. To take out the goons. I think you have to take out these. No, don't have to. We'll just take all these rounds. Alright, and we'll also Eat some rat. Alright, where's the other rat? Hey, Squeakers. Where'd you go? Oh, I wasn't done with you. Dang it. There we go. Okay. Well, let's go after some humans. Oops. Tell that this game was made in the old European homeland. Ow. And there we go. Okay. So the introduction to Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines. I am going to... We'll have this last dialogue.
That's it, kiddo. Just like that, it's all over. Everyone slinks back to their corners of the city for the night.
That's it? It's all over?
Until the next night, when the Camarilla finds some way to strike back. Parry, dodge, spin and all that, and so on, and so on, and so on.
Is this normal?
Well, to be honest, you came at an interesting time, let's say. The Camarilla, the Sabbat. Now, in LA, these are the new kids on the block. There's already plenty of kindred had stakes down in California long before them. Now,
Spicy.
we got every ancient kindred rivalry playing out all over the city. A lot of tension out there. A lot of fear. A lot of jittery, high-strung predators clinging to their little pieces of eternity. Oh, boy. Oh, I think they're looking for you outside. Guess you got a cab to catch. Was hoping to fill you in on a little bit more, but... hell, you'll figure it all out.
Oh, thanks, Jack. I'll sleep over it, but I'd like to keep the gun.
If you make it back, stop in at the last round. It's this bar downtown here. I'll fill you in on the politics. Now that's the stuff that'll kill you. Good luck.
All right. So, the nice part is that we get experience points from this. Experience points in this game are allocated a lot for like quests that you do, not necessarily for enemies you kill. So unlike, for example, Baldur's Gate, where every enemy will give you a little bit of experience points, this is like if you develop the story, if you find an interesting way to solve a problem, if you do a mini quest, if you do a side job, if you do a little piece here or there, then you're going to get experience points from that. And that will, you can put those points directly into certain abilities, just like when we created the character, right? And as you increase in certain abilities, they will be more and more and more expensive. So that is why I really, really, really enjoy this game and this system of game for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. And I hope that the sequel will do this too. Who knows? But for the meantime, we'll go ahead and play a 20-year-old game, and we're going to have a damn fine time doing it. If you like what I do, leave the video a like, subscribe. I'm going to create more content with Elle, and we're going to see how she does when we go to Santa Monica, which is where we headed next time. I'm going to do a lot more. I'm going to have a lot longer video for that content. But until that time, thank you so much for watching. Take care and good luck. We're all counting on you.